Stand by to fall in, Polk County. This is today's veteran. Hello and welcome, and on behalf of everyone at the Polk County Office of Veteran Services, thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Tim Kirkhart, and on this installment of Today's Veteran, we talk with representatives from Lakeland Habitat for Humanity about their efforts to help West Polk County veterans with their Veterans Repair Corps program. But we start off today's show with a look at Florida Veterans Outreach. Florida Veterans Outreach maintains an outreach program for individuals who cannot meet mainstream society work demands due to mental, emotional, or physical problems. Joining us in studio is Bob Graham, Regional Manager, Veterans Outreach. Bob, welcome to today's Veteran.
Thank you, Tim. Glad to be here.
All right, let's start off with telling our audience, what is Veterans Outreach?
It's a 501c3, which means not-for-profit charity, which specifically helps veterans who can't meet their financial obligations. That's something, as perhaps you know, Tim, that the VA cannot do for them. They cannot pay personal kind of bills like utilities and car insurance and car repairs and that sort of thing, and that's where we step up to the plate.
Okay.
We helped about 470 this past year, which is probably just a drop in the bucket. I think there are so many more. We had 99 in Manatee County. We had 243 in Pinellas County, which is the site of Bay Pines, which is, as you probably know, the fourth largest VA hospital in the world. And they constantly refer veterans to us who can't pay their bills. Examples of that, for example, lady approached us. She said we had helped her daughter a year before. Her daughter is now in a VA hospital to have a bone marrow transplant. Apparently she had leukemia. And as a result of her being in the hospital, she could not work, obviously, and the mother had a very menial job, and they've fallen behind in their bills. They said, is there any way we can help? We did. We paid an electricity bill that they had, a water bill that they had. She said, you know, if I have no water, it's like being homeless. It's just as bad as being homeless.
Sure.
So we stepped in, we paid the water bill, we paid the electricity bill, as I said. They were just ecstatic. And the daughter had a very successful plant and is back with us and apparently is working again.
Good.
That is an example.
So the purpose is to help veterans who may be in temporary need of assistance.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
What we say is we give a hand up, not a hand out. So we're not soliciting people to keep coming back to us all the time because they got to stand on their 2 feet sometime. But as happens all of us, at some point you got a financial crisis, and that's what we're there for.
Bob, where are you headquartered? Where is your?
I have a regional office in Sarasota.
Okay, and that covers what? Is it the whole state or?
The whole state, yeah.
The whole
yeah.
state.
Now we're active, Tim, in probably 18 counties, and by active I mean we have representatives there. The communities know us. The representatives are there to take donations. We essentially get our funding from the public. We do what is called sidewalk solicitation. Public has been very supportive. Walmart, Sam's Club, Winn-Dixie, Ace Hardwares all allow us to be there selectively on a weekend to take donations from the public who understand what we're trying to do and want to assist in that.
Tell us a little bit about the history of the program and where it started. And
okay,
is it
started
from
in
Florida?
Ohio in 1992. Came to Florida 10 years later. There are 2 offices in Kentucky, there's 1 in Alabama, and ourselves. There are a total of 5 offices. And I'm sure that will expand because the need of veterans is throughout the country.
Right, right.
They hurt out there.
Oh, they do. And we're appreciative of your program to help them. What's the procedure? What would the veteran or the advocate have to do to access your program?
Okay. You may be involved in a VA program now. You know, the HUD-VASH program, for example, on supplemental housing. And the veteran cannot pay, typically since he's been homeless, doesn't have any real funding. And according to the VA, he's supposed to pay the original security deposit. He's supposed to pay part of the rent, utilities and that sort of thing he's supposed to pay. So he will say to the caseworker, I can't pay this kind of thing. The caseworker will say, okay, call Bob Graham, Veterans Outreach. That's what they do. So most of what we do is through referrals, veteran service officers included. Sometimes it's a repeat, obviously. They've gotten help from us before and they need help again. We go through a process with them to ensure that they are veterans and are needy. We ask them for proof of being a veteran, DD-214 or a VA card, proof of identity, driver's license or Florida ID, and thirdly is a copy of the bill. We will pay the creditor directly. We don't send the check to the veteran, made out to the veteran, because that might not always be totally kosher. With all due respect to veterans, and I am a veteran myself.
Sure, we're people.
That is correct. We are people with all that means. And as I said, we helped over 470 this past year.
Can you give us?
We're very active in a number of counties. Brevard has a large VA hospital in Vieira. They got to know about us, and we've had about 22 in this past several months from them. It's a very busy office we have. When I come in Monday to start the week, last Monday, day before yesterday, I had 17 voicemails from over the weekend. During the course of the day, I had another 15 calls. So the veterans are always out there looking for assistance.
Okay. And it usually comes through referrals.
Most, I'd say, yeah. But sometimes if word of mouth is a referral, then there's also a lot of word of mouth. I've been helped. Perhaps you ought to try it, Steve.
Right.
You know.
Right. Good. Give us some examples of how it has helped veterans. What you've paid for, or are there limitations to what you can help them with?
Yeah, we're a very small charity in comparative terms. So the original bill that we will handle perhaps might be in the 100, 150 area that we can do, but if somebody comes into us with a bill for 5,000, as I got called the other day, that's something that we cannot handle. We put an annual cap of $200, $250, so that again somebody doesn't keep coming back for more assistance. Primary thing, I'd say the most popular thing would be utility payments, and I have partnership agreements with Florida Power and Light, with Duke Energy, which covers Pinellas County, with Tampa Electric, which covers Hillsborough County, where I call them, guarantee, and then they will not shut down, because typically a veteran will not come to us for help until he's already gotten the shutdown notice, and I have to move very quickly. One of the good things, positive things that we have is we can move very rapidly. We get a lot of referrals from the Salvation Army, from Goodwill and whatnot, because they're larger and a little more bureaucratic and go through a vetting process, whereas I can move very rapidly. I have an emergency fund. If somebody needs help that day, I can do it.
And the payment goes directly to the vendor?
Goes directly to the creditor, correctly.
Okay.
You know.
How about Polk County? How active are you in Polk County?
Not as active, Tim, as I would like to be. We had, I think it was 7 in the past year, and with the population here, we should be getting more proportionally, I'm sure. I mean, if there are 72 in Sarasota County, 99 in Manatee County, 27 in Brevard County, there should be a lot more in Polk County. I'm delighted to be here. I hope that people that will watch this show will say, yeah, I'm a veteran, I need some help, and will let me know. And
the folks at HUD-VASH, they are very active as far as if...
yeah, yes they are, yeah. HUD-VASH is a great supporter of ours, yeah.
Okay. How about the VA vet centers? Are you familiar with those?
Yes.
And have they made referrals? I'm guessing they have.
In Pinellas County, yes. In Sarasota County, yes. In Charlotte County, which is Port Charlotte, yes. In Collier County, which is Fort Myers, yes. at the Polk County. I hope to visit them today.
Okay.
If you can give me directions how to get there.
I sure will, and tell you who to see, because they're a good group of counselors there. Tell us again how you are funded. Are you? And I know you said you do some solicitation, but how does that work? And I'm guessing it's relatively successful.
Okay. Specifically, the sidewalk solicitation at these stores. This is weekend. We use veterans for this. They're at the exit typically, and as the customers depart, with the permission of the store manager, we ask them if they would help needy veterans. And that's probably 2/3 of our funding. There are a lot of other ways. Whole Foods, for example, has a program right now where if you don't have a shopping bag, they will give you a shopping bag, but you have to pay a 10-cent deposit on it. And when you return it, you can get the deposit back, or you give it to a charity they have named. That charity happens to be us currently, and then for the next 3 months. So we get things through that.
You say sidewalk solicitation.
Mm-hmm.
What about, how can somebody just give money, or is it just money? Can they give other things that are needed?
Essentially money, because what we're dealing with are bills. And Florida Power and Light might want a used car or something like that, but what they really want is a check.
Right.
So that's what we're furnishing.
Okay.
We are approached with things that if we had storage possibilities, we would do it, but we really don't have storage. So essentially we're dealing with money donations.
Okay. And then you pay what, by check or
pay by
EFT
check, yes.
funds, or?
Yes, have a Wells Fargo bank account, and the checks are written on that.
Okay.
So the money that we count that comes in over the weekend is counted on Monday. We have a couple of volunteers to do that, and it goes into a Wells Fargo bank account that night or Tuesday morning.
Okay.
And checks are drawn on that account.
Well, Bob, we appreciate your program. We're about out of time. Is there any parting words you would like to leave with our audience?
Yes, if there's any homeless veterans out there, or veterans who can't pay a bill, contact me. It's Veterans Outreach in Sarasota, Florida. I'd be glad to help.
Thank you for coming today.
Nice to see you, Tim. Thank you.
Veterans wishing to find out more about Florida Veterans Outreach, you can look them up on the web at www.veteransoutreach.org or give them a call at 941-755-1305. We'll be back with more of today's veteran after this.
It's time to exercise. Exercise your right to vote. All precincts are open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. on Tuesday, November 8th, and it's important to make your voice heard. I'm Lori Edwards with some important reminders. Double check your precinct location in advance. It's on your voter information card. And don't forget, bring photo ID when you go to the polls. Sample ballots are available at our website, polkelections.com.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Captain Joshua Brandon.
Bob Murphy.
Kate Weber.
Jerry Reed.
Will Sanchez.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
I thought I was losing my mind.
Everything just fell apart.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
I felt isolated. I felt alone.
And I made a choice. I made a choice to go seek treatment.
Treatment has definitely helped me. Treatment has turned my life completely around.
It was like the new beginning for me.
If you're tired of dealing and living the way you are right now, then do something about it.
Quit beating yourself up and go ahead and help. You know, that's basically all I can tell you. But you know you need help, so go get it.
Welcome back to today's veteran. I'm your host, Tim Kirkhart. Since 1990, Lakeland Habitat for Humanity has been building houses together in partnership with families in need in West Polk County, offering families a hand up instead of a hand out. Here to talk about a new program just for veterans is Judith Nieves, Director of Repair Corps, Lakeland Habitat for Humanity. Welcome, Judith.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's get started. Tell us a little bit about Habitat for Humanity, program itself?
Lakeland Habitat. Polk County is divided in two. Let's start with that. So we serve the west area of Polk County. We were established in 1990. We've been in Lakeland for 26 years. We serve low-income families. We are building houses. Right now we are 139, I think that's the right numbers. Houses built. We serve about 500 families already, members including. These families normally are homeless. The income is less than 50%. They have to do sweat equity hours. We don't give the houses. They pay taxes. They pay mortgage. It's zero interest because we carry their mortgages. Anything else that you want to know?
Tell us about your new program with the Veterans Incentive.
This is going to be our third year. This is a veterans program. It's only for veterans, and we include no widows, no members of the family. Home Depot is the sponsor of this program. Right now, we already serve 37 veterans. So this year, Home Depot give us more money. So we want to serve all those veterans. They have to be low-income families. They have to own their property, and we provide repairs for them.
Okay. How would a veteran know about the program, or how would they go about applying?
They can contact us. It's in our website also. Our phone number is 863-682-3812, and they can ask for Rhonda. She is the one that handles the applications. It's very simple, nothing complicated for them. We have to have proof that they are veterans, so it's very important that they give us a copy of their DD-214. That's very, very important for us.
That's a piece of gold, the DD-214.
And every veteran has a copy.
Well, not every veteran, but that's one of the things we do is help them get their DD-214 if they need it. You mentioned Home Depot. How involved are they in this program?
100%. Team Depot, that's the name for the associate, they're also volunteers for us. We contact Home Depot, let them know what is the project, and they communicate with all their associates, and they put together a group, and they go and help us paint, clean, repair, whatever has to be done in that property.
Does Home Depot provide the materials for the house?
It's interesting because we receive money, but they also give us gift cards, and we use those gift cards to buy materials from Home Depot.
Tell us specifically about the Veterans Home Improvement. How does that work? And
we have guidelines. We use the HUD guidelines for income. They have to be low-income families. Like I mentioned before, they have to own their house. They have to work with their payment. It's a little bit. It's not a lot, but we are a handout. No, so we have to ask for a little bit. We work with individually with every family. We don't want to tell anyone we don't help. We also help with mobile homes.
Okay. How does the veteran qualify?
They just have to fill out an application, provide all the paperwork that has to be sent to be approved, and as soon as it's approved, we start working with them.
And where is it approved? Is that locally?
No, has to be sent to Habitat International and Home Depot, and they evaluate each case individually.
How long would the process take?
Probably 2 weeks.
Really? Okay. Tell us about some of the either ongoing projects or projects with the Veterans Program that have been completed, and what happened in their homes. What kind of improvements? To what degree?
Oh, we have been done a lot of ramps. We have fixed a lot of roofs, bathrooms, because they're elderly, most of them, so it's hard for them to get in the shower now. So we are doing that. A lot of kitchens that the cabinets are falling, especially on mobile homes, floors. because the floors are getting worn out, so that take a lot.
Okay. What can you give us an idea of what the most money might have been spent on a single project, or?
Well, Home Depot provide 15,000. Habitat, we do a little bit more. So we have some projects that we spend $25,000.
And what would the length of that project like that? How long would that take to start to finish to repair?
We contract some of the work, especially roof, electricity, all that has to be licensed, so that help the process a little bit. So normally about 3 weeks.
Okay. What about volunteers? Are there volunteers that help, and how do they get involved?
They just have to call us. We've let them know where we're working. We do a background check to everybody. That's part of the program. Soon as we have the project, we let them know. They go, they start working. We provide supervision all the time, so the supervisor know what we're going to be doing. He's really good sending emails to let them know. They stay, this is the project, this is what we're going to be doing. So everybody wear proper shoes and everything for the job.
Okay. What about, what is a source of volunteers? Do local organizations, churches, and things like that, do they volunteer?
Yes, sir. We have churches, we have Team Depot, we have a group that we call the WIC Crew. They are there almost every day to help us, and anyone that wants to volunteer.
And the veteran themselves, they have to also participate?
We call it sweat equity, yes. But what we do is it's simple, nothing complicated, depend on the situation of their family. They sometimes, what they do is greet their family, the volunteers, provide water for the volunteers, and if they are capable, they help us with the project in their houses.
Okay, if they're capable.
Yes.
How does the overall plan for an individual house, how is that developed? Is that a contractor, or how does that go?
Home Depot and Habitat International, they sit down together and they provide us a scope of work. So we go through that to the whole house. Then we sit down with the family and tell them what we can do, and then we start the work.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the sponsors, and I know you've mentioned Home Depot. What about, are there other sources that are available to help with the project?
Always we need money, because these houses, some of them need a lot of work. 15,000 look like it's much, but if you have to do a roof, replace an AC and a kitchen, money's gone. So we want those houses to be safe. So we need always the sponsors to do that little extra for them.
Okay. Any names of the sponsors that have helped other than Home Depot?
Well, we have Public Charities. We have Carol and Barney Barnett. We have Backcut Furniture. We have Sunshine Interiors. We have Sumter Enterprise, Anonymous Donors. We have some of those.
Okay. Tell us how many projects that you might have going on at one time.
Last year was the biggest one. We did 17. 17.
From start to finish?
Yes, sir.
How about right now? How many are in
Right now, we just started the process, and I know we have already 10 applications.
Okay. You mentioned earlier sweat equity. Can you explain that a little bit further and tell us how that works?
Sweat equity is what the family does for the job. It's just painting with us, cleaning with us. It's not by themselves. We don't do that. They help us with the project.
Okay. Do they also help with other projects? Is that required, or is that something that can be done?
For this program, it's not required, but they are welcome always to do it. They can even go to our store and help us greet, or they are capable to help us to clean and have the store ready
Okay. Well, Judith, we're about out of time. Is there anything else you want to tell us about your program and maybe how to get involved again?
Everybody's welcome to get involved. We need those veterans because this year we have open applications. The year starts on May, so we are in the process to finish all the paperwork, and we are open to any support that the public can give us.
Okay. Well, Judith, I want to thank you for coming on our show and telling us about Habitat for Humanity and for our Veterans Program.
Thank you for your time also.
For more information about their Veterans Repair Corps program, sponsored by Home Depot, you can look them up on the web at www.lakelandhabitatforhumanity.org. That's going to do it for this edition of Today's Veteran. I want to thank our guests today, Judith Nieves and Bob Graham, but most of all, I want to thank you for joining us. Remember, for help and information regarding claims, benefits, and services available to veterans and their families, call the Polk County Veterans Service Office at 863-534-5220 or log on to the Polk County website at polk-county.net. I'm your host, Tim Kirkhart, and we'll see you next month.